Tampa, the same spot on the same foot that cost Yankees first baseman Greg Bird much of his 2017 season apparently has been hurting off and on this spring. That same spot in the same foot, his right one, really started bothering him Friday when Bird played his first full spring training game. Roster was set, but Bird now hurt. What it means? Bird figured it was no big deal. Never told the Yankees and, as scheduled, traveled to Lake Buena Vista on Saturday morning to play the Atlanta Braves. More soreness during batting practice finally led Bird to telling the Yankees what was going on. Bird was scratched from his start, headed back to Tampa for an exam and then was dispatched to a local hospital for an MRI and CT scan. The results only revealed inflammation, but Bird will fly to New York on Monday to see a foot specialist. Looking and sounding frazzled, Yankees GM Brian Cashman met with reporters after his club's 13-6 split squad win over the Toronto Blue Jays in Tampa and said, "It's not what we expected to be talking about today." Quote, before getting the MRI results, which probably will lead to Bird starting the season on the disabled list. Cashman was braced for bad news. "I'm worried about it, to be honest," said Cashman, whose team opens the season Thursday in Toronto. "I'm not sure what we're dealing with, but when Greg can't tee it up, it's a problem for us because obviously he's a vital member of our organization." Quote, Bird has had a bad spring at the plate, but as far as everyone knew, he was healthy, so the Yankees figured he'd eventually get hot and become another huge middle-of-the-lineup weapon for them. What if Bird's injury leads to a long layoff? According to Cashman, the Yankees will fill from within and not attempt to trade for help. The options would be newcomer Neil Walker, who was signed by the Yankees on March 12 to play a lot of second base and some first, plus Tyler Austin, a longtime prospect who last Wednesday was optioned to AAA after looking good at the plate. This spring, this time of the year, this is what you do. You go with what you've got, Cashman said. Obviously, Neil Walker's import here recently becomes even that much more beneficial. Tyler Austin had a really good camp. It's important to have depth. You'd rather not rely on it, but we have some depth that we can turn to. First things first, we have to see if we're in a position to have to or not. Quote, Bird has hit just 154 with 1 homer in 18 spring games. But he and the Yankees continuously have dismissed the struggles. The organizational thought all along is that Bird will become a star if he stays healthy. He looked like a budding one late into 2015 when he hit 11 homers in his first 46 big league games. Ever since, it's been one injury after another. Bird missed the entire 2016 season recovering from off-season labrum surgery. Then after being one of the best hitters in baseball last spring, he fouled a pitch off his right foot during his next-to-last Grapefruit League game and a supposed minor issue ended up becoming way more serious than he initially had thought. Bird began the 2017 season playing through soreness, but he was put on the DL after a 6-for-60 start at the plate. And eventually that led to a surgery on July 17 to remove a bone in his foot. He rejoined the Yankees in late August after being on the DL for 3.5 months and contributed to the Yankees' playoff push and postseason run. The strong ending to 2017 had the Yankees optimistic that 2018 finally would be Bird's breakout year. A bad spring training slump didn't shake anyone's confidence, but another right foot injury has the Yankees very concerned and bewildered. I asked him if he had fouled a ball off his foot. Cashman said. Bird said that he hadn't. He did say he's had a little bit of discomfort off and on. Cashman added, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he said as he ramped up his baseball activity to 9 innings. On Friday, it started to rear its ugly head. I think he felt it Friday, by the end of the game, and it carried over into Saturday's pregame, but he didn't say anything to us about it. I think it was something at that point he felt he was sure would go away. I guess. Quote, it hasn't. And now the Yankees could be in a bind again at first base. We're deep and we have other people who can pick up the slack, Cashman said. Hopefully. If he's going to be down, it won't be long. Quote, Randy Miller may be reached at rmiller@advancemedia.com. Follow him on Twitter at RandyJMiller. Find NJ.com on Facebook.